Hey everyone, doing well, I hope. Now then, something just a little bit different today. But first, let's start off with the answer to a question that nobody has asked me. What is your favorite hard rock heavy metal album of all time? And the answer to that question would be Angel Dust by Faith No More. Now, of course, there's a long list of metal albums through the years that I absolutely love. However, one sits above all the rest when it comes to my own personal taste in metal. Angel Dust. It's simply a masterpiece of hard rock / metal as far as I'm concerned, and one of the most important metal albums of the 90s. Now, overall, when it comes to my own taste in the heavier side of music, I've listened to this album more than any other. Easily. And today, going to show you guys how to play one of the best tracks on it, Kindergarten, side 2, track 1. So let's close in here a little bit and get started, yeah? Right then, Kindergarten, Jim Martin and Faith No More. We are in standard tuning for this tutorial, and this track starts with this very cool harmonic riff. And then we drop into the first verse. So what we're doing here is basically just going off from B power chord off to A. And you're gonna let that A ring, right? And then the first harmonics, 4th fret of the A, down to the 5th fret of the D, and then down to the 4th fret of the G, and then you're just gonna reverse it. Right? Back into B. However, from every time after the first time, we're going to chug. We're going to hit the B power chord, and then we're going to chug 4 times on the A string at the 2nd fret. You know, part of the B power chord, right? Before going off to A. Now the second harmonic, 5th fret of the A, back it up to 4, and then down to 4 of the D, back into the B riff. The third harmonic is the same as the first. Back to B, and then the final harmonic run, 5th fret of the B up to 5th fret of the G, back to 4 of the D, move it up to 5 of the D, and then finish on the 4 of the A. So that is the harmonic opening, right? Very first time is just a straight shot from B to A, and then every other time you're going to chug on that B note, right? Now we're into the first verse. We're just going to repeat this 5 times. And just let the A ring. Now that's the end of the first verse. We're going to repeat this one more time as the beginning of the chorus. So you repeat that one more time at the beginning of the chorus. Then you're going to go up to E and E power chord, back off to A. And then you're going to grab the 2nd fret of the G string, give it a little waggle of vibrato, right? Back into the B riff. Now we're going to go up to F sharp and then go off to A, right? So the first time you go up to E off to A, second time you go up to F sharp off to A. F sharp. And then coming off of the F sharp off to A, instead of just going to that 2nd fret, we're going to go 4 off to 2 of the G, right? Back into the F. E off to A again. And then you're going to grab that note again. And then to finish the chorus, we're going to do the B to A one more time, and then we're going to go up to F sharp, hit that twice, and then off to A, and then we're into the second verse. And you're just going to repeat that 4 times again for the second verse. So that's the chorus. E. Grab that note. F sharp. E. Grab that note. Then F sharp. Into the second verse. Drinking fountains are shorter than they used to be. Swings on the playground don't even fit me anymore. Folklore. No one's supposed to believe in the next grade. Write it 100 times into the second chorus. E off to A. Then F sharp off to A. And then we're into a little bass break. So I'm going to show you this because we are going to be playing along with the bass a little bit later on in this track. So it starts on the B note, and then you're going to roll up to the B of the low E string. And we're going to kind of be just repeating that, right? We're going to go 2 to 5, back to the B note there for a double hit, back up to the 5 of the low E, and then back to the B note, right? And then, so you're going to kind of repeat that 3 times, and then the 4th time you're going to do a little roll from the 2 up to the 2 of the A up to the 2 of the low E. Right? Just a little variation. And then you repeat. And then leading back into the guitars again, the guitars are going to join the bass just for this one line before going back into B off to A. Right? So 2 off to the open A, and then you're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, back into the B, and then back off to A, right? And then you let it ring. And then there's like a bass solo, right? And then we're going to do this. We're going to play the same thing that we just did as a little lead into this, right? 2 of the low E off to open A. And then chromatically 5, 4, 3, 2. And you're going to let that B chord ring just for a second. And then choke it off. And then there's a little bass line. That right there. And then we're just back into that again for 4 more repeats. I think maybe it's synths going on here. And then this final time you just let that A ring, right? And then we're into the 3rd verse. But now we're back into the harmonics. Same harmonics we did at the beginning. Now there's a little section here, it's a little kind of a little solo break. It's not really a guitar solo per se, it's just playing a little melody line kind of thing. But coming out of that final harmonic, he plays this. So we're up here on the 7s and 9s, starting with a bend on the 9. A little double pull off from 9 to 7. And then a little chromatic run 9, 8, 7 of the A. And now he's going to play these little lead lines, little fill lines along with the chorus. So 9 of the A down to 7. That's the first little fill line there. Kingdom. So he's going to go 9 down to 7. Back into a bend at the 9th fret of the G. Play that little line there. He's just going to 7 and 9, back it up to 6. And then drop onto that 7 of the D string for a little bend release. Kingdom. And then just go 9, 7, 9. F sharp down to A. Slide back into the 9, back off to 7. Back into the 9 of the A. Back into the exact same thing we just played, bending that 9. F sharp A. And then we're back into this. Except this time the guitar is playing along with the bass, right? So that whole little section coming out, starting with the harmonic, when we get back into the harmonics, right? Right? And then we drop into that. For 4 repeats. And then the very final time we're going to do the same thing we did earlier. Right? 2 off to open A. And then do that little chromatic run 5, 4, 3, 2, right? And then we're into the outro. So the outro is a little bit different, a little hard to hear exactly what he's doing here because it's kind of buried in noise and synths and Mike Patton screaming over it. But B, A, and then he jumps up here and grabs a double stop on the 7th fret of the D and the G, and then back to A. Plays that little line there. Sliding into 9 of the A, hit it twice. Down to 12 of the D, and then a little bend release on the 11 of the G. Little half step bend release, right? Back to B to A, double stop back to A. And then that little line there, sliding into 9 of the G, down to 10, and then 10 of the high E off to 9, right? And you repeat. And then we're into the short little outro solo. And that's the end of the track. So that little short solo, pretty much all on the high E string. So the notes we're dealing with here, 7th fret, moving it into 9, into 10, and then into 14. Right? And then we're going to play this little lick all on the 13s and 14s of the B and the high E. So you're kind of repeating that little phrase twice, right? That right there, and you're going to repeat it. And then we're going to go 13, 14 down to 13 of the high E one more time. And then reverse it. And then 13 on to 14, back it off to 12. And then you're just going to ride on that 12. And then finish the song with that. Dropping into that B, and choking it off. Right? So that's that little solo section. End of track. And that, my friends, is how you play Kindergarten by Jim Martin and Faith No More. Certainly hope you enjoyed the video, found it helpful. If you did, please hit that like button, drop me a subscribe if you haven't done that already, as that would be awfully kind. And hope you're well, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.